Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. How are you? It's Emmy and welcome back. Today I'm going to be eating a sunflower, the actual sunflower itself. So many of you got in touch with me via social media to share a video from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds where it shows a chef preparing a sunflower head, the actual flower of the sunflower, placing it on the grill, cooking it, and then eating it like corn on the cob. So many of you sent this video to me, so since I'm growing mammoth sunflowers in my garden, I said, why not? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and taste these seeds. We know they're edible. Usually we wait till the seeds are fully formed and dried, then we roast them before we eat the sunflower seeds. But what happens if we eat them when they're a little bit younger? And can you eat them like corn on the cob? And if so, what do they taste like? We have lots of questions to answer, so big thanks to all my beautiful lovelies who got in touch with me and shared this video with me. I will put, of course, the link down below to the original video in case you're curious. So as I said earlier, I've been growing giant sunflowers in my garden. I grew them for the first time last year, and I love them so much because they tower so tall and they have giant heads that are so stinking cheery, although it was a bit nerve-wracking in the beginning because the squirrels and the chipmunks kept eating my seedlings, and so by the end of it I only had 4. So this year I made sure to plant lots of them, and lovely Kathy sent me sunflower seeds as well, so we grew a ton of them. We gave a bunch of the seedlings away as well because they're so stinking cheery and so tall. I cut one down for this video, but let me just show you how tall when I mean tall. When they say mammoth, they mean mammoth. I mean the stalk is 2 inches in diameter. Check it out. Look! Like you can't even see the top of the sunflower because it's hitting my ceiling. And this sunflower bloomed and its head is now bowed and it is ready to be eaten as it's shown in the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed video. This in the garden was about 14 feet tall. I cut it down and I had to cut it so it would fit inside the house, but these are enormous. Now, we had major ant issues, but even still, we were still able to get beautiful sunflower heads. And these stalks are incredibly strong. We had a major windstorm a few weeks ago and most of my sunflowers made it. So this is what I want to talk to you about today. This. So let's remove the sunflower from the stalk. Get this out of the way. When you look at the size of the sunflower, it is enormous. It's probably 12 inches across, if not more. And let's talk a little bit about the anatomy of this flower. So this beautiful sunflower is a great example of inflorescence. And inflorescence is a plant structure that is composed of lots of small individual flowers. So this looks like a giant flower with bright yellow petals, but in fact, these little tiny bits here are individual flowers. If you look very carefully, you can see there are small flowers. If you watch a pollinator on this flower as well, you'll see that they'll be dipping their proboscis into each individual flower for nectar. Isn't that cool? So below each flower is the ovary, and that is the fruit of the flower. And as it matures, if we remove the flowers, that becomes the seed. So the bright yellow portion on the outside are actually individual flowers as well that have this kind of single petal look to them, but they too are individual flowers. So when I was researching the recipe for this video, I've discovered that you can actually eat sunflower buds as well. Before the sunflower actually opens and it's all green and closed up, you can boil those and eat them similarly to artichoke hearts, which I found really interesting. I love artichoke hearts, but right now in the season and in my garden, I don't have any buds, just open flowers. Otherwise, I would have tasted those for you as well. Next year, right? Next year. But today we're going to go ahead and prepare this so we can roast it. So the first thing we're going to do is rub all of these flowers off so we can expose the seeds, and that's what we'll be eating. You're supposed to get a flower where the seeds have formed, but the shells have not hardened yet. So down below, the green part is called the peduncle. With my best examples of my sunflowers, my plan is to also collect the heads and dry them in the garage so I can collect the seeds. I plan to roast some of them, but I also want to save some for next year so I can grow more sunflowers. They're a real joy to grow. and watch through the summer as they get larger and taller and taller. My youngest child would take a ruler outside and measure the difference in height every single day. So stinking cute. Okay, so we're gonna brush all of the flowers off. Take a little mushroom brush and get extra flower bits off. Now I'm gonna take some sun-dried tomatoes. These are tomatoes that came out of my garden last year, and I soaked them in olive oil, and I'm going to put the oil all over the sunflower. And drying the tomatoes is really, really simple. I just put them in my dehydrator and dried them out for a couple of days. And when they were completely dried, I just covered them in olive oil and I store them in the refrigerator. They're great for salads, sandwiches, all kinds of things. Roasting sunflowers. And then the oil gets infused with that tomato flavor and it gets this kind of orange color. I'm gonna add a bit of salt. Now I'm gonna place this on a hot grill and then I'm gonna cover it and cook it for 5 minutes. And then we're gonna go ahead and taste this. Okay, my lovelies, I'm back and here is the beautiful sunflower head that I just pulled off the grill. I did give it a couple extra minutes because this one is so large, but you can see that the seeds are already popping out, so I think we're ready. So stinking cool, just steaming hot. We're gonna take some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just gonna rub those right on top. I just chopped these up a bit. These are the tomatoes that were soaking in the olive oil that we rubbed this with earlier. Freshly cracked pepper. And a little extra salt. Finely shredded basil. A chiffonade, as they say. Alrighty, the moment I've been waiting for. This took about 4 months to grow, and now I'm gonna give it a taste, just like I would corn on the cob. Alrighty, itadakimasu. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. Let me give another taste. The experience is kind of like corn, but it doesn't fight with you as much as corn does. You know, when you have corn, you really have to kind of bite into it to kind of shave it out and get the kernels to come off. When you bite into this, the kernels just kind of fall into your mouth. It's very fibrous. I don't know if you heard that, but it's very fibrous and it doesn't have much flavor to it. It's very smoky from the grill, but the sunflower seeds themselves don't have that much flavor. Ah. I just got some sun-dried tomato, which is really bright, a little bit acidic, full of tomato flavor. I love the smokiness from the grill. The actual individual sunflower seeds themselves, though, I was expecting to be more nutty, but they're actually more similar to corn, except they're not sweet. It reminds me of field corn, the type of corn they grow for livestock that's got very big kernels that aren't that sweet or flavorful. That's what it's like. It's very kind of difficult to eat too because it's kind of flat and to kind of get your teeth into it is tricky. But yeah, it's not bad. So in here are the smaller seeds that are less mature. Let's see if they have a different flavor. Here we go. Those are really nutty. As you can see, they have the most caramelization on them. And they're much more tender. They're not as fibrous. A little bit sweeter. Yeah, those ones are nice. Little tiny seeds. There you go. Now you can see the sunflower seeds popping out. I got a bite of basil and a bite of the tomato in there. The basil has a kind of licoricey, fresh flavor to it. The tomatoes are slightly acidic, a little bit sweet, and just gently raking the seeds with a fork. It's definitely the way to go, rather than trying to dive your face into this and take a bite. This is much more of a pleasant experience. So there you have it, my lovelies. You can indeed roast an entire head of a sunflower and then proceed to eat the seeds. Just make sure that your seeds are not too mature, otherwise I think the shells would be too fibrous. Do like my shirt, by the way. I love it. There can only be one queen bee. Alrighty, my beautiful lovelies, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. I love hearing from you. I read all of my comments. Like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in my next one. Toodaloo, take care. Bye! Sunflower face.